Yo, 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 yo. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Heaven on Earth. This is John.
This is Cam.
Yeah. This might be a fire episode. This is going to be a fire episode. The basis of this episode is Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 15. What it says is, whatever has already been and what will be has been before, and God will call the past to account. So, meaning, what's going on in life right now has already happened. One thing that's pissed me off was looking at YouTube suggestions, and a bunch of my suggestions are video game based, or then it's like faith based, because that's all I like.
Yeah,
I watch anyways. And when I see faith based, it gets annoying because it just felt like all they're trying to do is just sell you on their stuff, and it's like, no, like, bro, stop. Stop trying to please. Invent the wheel. Like, you're not going to. Like, there's two ways to do things: the right way or the wrong way. You do things the wrong way, you're going to be a slave. Yeah. You do things the right way, you become free. And that's how God works. Like, that's why when you step with God, it starts off hard at first because we're not used to being independent.
True.
We're not used to going to Him and Him using us to do the work, right? We're not used to being consistent. Mm-hmm. We're not used to being honest, like being loving people. And that's why it's tough, because you have to pick up those habits. But as time will go and you stay consistent with Him, then you start catching up, right?
Well, just like anything in life, it's always hardest when you first have to do it, but the more you do it, the easier it gets.
Right. And that's what, for example, like our growth from the start of the podcast till now is like tremendous. Yeah. Like, we're reacting less and less to stupid things, foolish things, right? And then now it's like responding to do it, like responding instead of reacting. Yeah,
responding in the correct way. But I like the way that you put that, because it's true, because like Jesus never reacted. He always responded.
Right.
And he always responded with like a question directed at the problem, not the person.
Exactly. That was the key thing. He's looking at, all right, where's the problem lie?
Yep.
It's not the person. And that's where we typically we'll mess up ourselves.
Like, it's your fault.
Yeah, exactly. It's your fault. No, it's your fault. No, it's your fault. No, it's just there was a lack of communication at some point. Let's fix that and we'll be good. Moving forward, we know this is how to avoid that. But very rarely do you ever get to that point.
Isn't it crazy, though? Especially nowadays, everybody assumes everybody else, including themselves, is a mind reader. It's like, this is the easiest time in our existence to communicate. Just say something.
Just say something, bro. And it's like, the problem, too, is like politically correct. Yeah. Everyone wants to be politically correct. Oh, no, this is... No, you don't do that. You're intrusive in their space. You let them do what they... It's like, fam, if it's going to kill them, let them know. That's on them if they don't want to respond to that.
Bro, if people think Elon Musk is a bad boss, don't work for you, boy.
Yeah. Like, you got to understand.
I'm hiring people to do their job.
That's it.
Not just sit in the seat.
How
you get me.
I get you. Just so you know, though, statistics has shown, like, in a company... 10% of people do 80% of the work.
Mm-hmm.
That's
sad, bro.
It sucks. However, if you're with the right mind, thinking with the right mind, you're like, oh, only 10% of people do 80% of the work. How can I become part of the 10%?
Yep.
You typically just go to that 10%, learn from them. You become who you hang around with.
Yep.
Now, the problem is, if that 10% is doing it the wrong way, then it's like, Then it gets a little tougher. Because now it's like, how do I figure out how to do things like the right way?
Without stepping on somebody's toes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's where and why you should be reading the Bible, because it teaches you the right way to everything.
Yeah.
Now, what I wanted to get into specifics now, though, were things that I was seeing on YouTube, like in particular, and what the Bible says about it, right? And how to maneuver from it. So the first one I want to talk about is scams. And when I say scams, it's like, you see on YouTube, do this, you'll become this. Do this, you'll become that.
Yeah.
My question has always now been like, where are you getting this information from? Like, did you rub the genie? And then all of a sudden the genie just, hey, this is the answer that's going to work for everyone.
No, they're 3 a.m. shower thoughts that turn into hot takes and get uploaded on the internet, bro.
And then they think like they're reinventing something. No, bro, what you're saying is what was said back in Jesus' day. It was what was said in our parents' day, our grandparents' day, and it was typically all schemers.
Yeah.
And the thing is, you can't sleep.
Hey, this one blew my mind recently. So, like, all my coworkers, especially that are female, are into like the fitness influencers.
Oh my God.
And like one of them was like heartbroken. They're like, I've been following this girl for years and this and that. And she makes all these videos about her cooking and her working out. And it came out, she doesn't do any of it. I'm like, yeah, she's selling a product.
That's how they finesse you.
Yeah.
It's like,
and it only works for her because she has a certain genetic, certain body type, certain metabolism, so she looks the part, but she don't do any of it. And I'm like, this is why you got to stay off this. It's the truth, bro.
No. What
I know
you're
it's
saying
a scam.
is 100% the truth. The problem is, we're so simple-minded as people. Like, we're really dumb.
Well, hey, this is...
No, hold on. Before you go, I really need to emphasize this.
Okay.
As human beings without God in our lives,
We're dumb.
We are idiots.
Yes.
We're stupid. We're foolish. We're dumb. Like, I really gotta emphasize that.
No, it's the
Because
truth.
we fall for the dumbest things ever. You're telling me in 4 weeks I can have a six-pack? That's BS. I played college football.
Yeah.
I can tell, like, I was blessed to have genetics like that. You was not getting no six-pack in 4 weeks.
Unless you're a genetic freak. Yeah.
You're not naturally losing 100 pounds a year. You got to be a professional
And that's
athlete
not
to be
healthy
doing
either, on top of it.
that. Like, stop. Our problem is we always try to cut the corners. Stop trying to cut the corners.
That's facts. Because the what I was going to say, too, is, like, it ties into what you just said, is without God, you're still looking for the answers that are deep down in here. But the difference is, instead of looking towards the Bible, you're looking at whatever's popping up on your feed. And you're like, oh, that's it. But the thing is that if you're not reading your Bible or, like, submitting yourself to
The Holy Spirit.
like the Holy Spirit, but understanding who God is and Jesus is and who they've developed us to be in this time period, and ask those prayers, you're going to be so lost. But once you realize, like, John's giving you the perfect explanation of, after you've spent some time with God in his word, you've had some renewing in your mind, you're going to realize, like, dude, it's just a circus out there.
It really is. Like,
it is.
It's the wheel, right?
Yep.
You're just going to keep spinning on it, and it's just going to be whatever the new trend is. We talked about this last week. No one, like, very few people ever realize this. So I told this, like, Freddie, like, how I'm starting to handle finances and how I would handle finances if I put myself in a bad spot.
Yeah.
Before, like, meeting God and then now understanding what God's doing. All your finances are not about to disappear right away. No. Because now he's trying to teach you the skills so that you don't have to worry about that moving forward ever.
No, and it's just discipline. That's what the Bible teaches you, is discipline.
Discipline, honesty. We talked about what like Proverbs said. It's the discipline and honesty part. You do those two things, you'll be solid. And then the biggest part, and God emphasizes it throughout the Bible, love him.
Yeah.
You do that, he's going to take care of you. Then you're going to learn the things to be successful in life.
Well, and that's like goes hand in hand with, like, one of my favorite sayings in the Bible, and like a lot of themes of worship songs.
Yeah.
Is literally the easiest thing you can do, and God will exalt you for doing it, is literally seek him and the kingdom first. That's it. And then everything starts lining up. And it's the truth, bro.
You remember what we said about friendship, right?
Yeah.
And my problem in the past was I can be on the walk with God, and then because I get bored or like I get lonely because I don't want to just keep following God.
Yeah.
Then I start trying to start things myself. And then that's where problems become. And it's like, if I just stayed patient with God, he would have brought the right people in my life. He would have put the right things in my life so that, one, I'm not chasing. Two, it's appreciated by both sides, you know? And it's like, but I don't. It's again, we're stupid without God.
I get it. And the thing is that's helped me out a lot, and I've been helping a few people out with this, is there's a few mental breakthroughs that I've had recently, is like, because I feel definitely exactly the way you have felt in the past and do sometimes.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that I don't have those struggles. But the thing that I always think about when I start feeling those feelings is like, if I was supposed to have it, God would already have put it in my life. And then the second thing is like, I need to focus, or if I really want this, like say, I'll use a real life scenario for me is like, I want to be married.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like being single by choice, you're still going to have all the temptations of being pretty much a male in their prime. You're going to have sexual things. You're going to have lust in your mind. You're going to be looking at this dude's girlfriend and being like, why don't I have a girlfriend? Like how it all goes on. But the way that I combat that is like, if I'm really following God's path the way that I need to be written out in the Bible, that it says that in the time that he deems necessary, all things will come to fruition. Right. So it's not in fruition here. So obviously it's not my time. Yeah. So then what I do then to combat all those feelings is like, what is he having me focus on now? Yeah. And then I double down on it. But the more I realize, regardless of if it's if a wife or a certain object or thing, because it's really all that it boils down to in life, is like, how can I be content with everything that God has going on now? And the more that I focus on that, the more I realize, like, if I'm being realistic and humble about my life, okay, this is probably why I don't have a wife. Yeah. Or even if or what he does too is like, he'll put you in situations like at work. Everybody's married but me. Yeah. I hear all the negative side about marriage all the time. And it's not always negative, but sometimes it's so much that I'm like, for instance, this 4-day weekend, right, that I just had. I got all my stuff done. I had time to chill, rest, recharge, came back to work. I'm ready to work, right? Yeah. Everybody else, more wiped out than if they had a 2-day weekend. Because it's like, the wife wanted to do this. We had to take the kids there. We got to do this. And then it's just like, in my mind, I was like, dang, it's good to be single. Because you get what I'm saying?
No, what you're saying is so much fact. Like, to bounce off of what you're saying, it's because they chose that.
Correct.
And, let's just say, thank God that he loves, like, not saying he doesn't love other people.
True.
Thank God he loves me. Because he's taken out decisions that I've made, and he saved me. It's like, no, that's not for you. Yeah. I listen, you'll get that in due time. That's not for you. Yeah. I just need you to keep focusing on this. And it's like, that's where the temptation can start sometimes. Where it's why do you want me to focus on this?
Let's talk about why the temptations come in, right? It's like, one, it's not being patient, because patience is more than a virtue, dog. Boy. I'll say that.
Hey, that is life-saving. Patience is everything saving. Life saving, time saving, money saving, everything saving.
And then this is where my pitfalls come in, right? Is like, we've already crossed off patience. Yeah. And then it's like, I'm a little bored. If I get a little bored,
then it's like
trying to spice something up.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then it's like, the more I realize the negative consequences that come with making a rash decision without counsel with God, is not worth it. Woo! Yeah, it's the truth, bro.
Then you're back begging.
Yep.
That's like, I feel like that's the 2 stages with Christ. You're begging, and then you're just living.
It's true.
I'm tired of begging. You feel me? Like,
back here again. What's up, boy?
Yeah, it's like, Imagine just God just sitting down on his throne. The door's right there. Here you come, busting through it,
He's like,
looking a whole mess, my boy. And he just looks at you. Everyone in the council in heaven is just looking at you. And it's just like, at what point do you get embarrassed? Like, all right, I'm done. I'm done coming in like this. I'm coming in nasty where I could just literally just be living within these doors
Yep.
peacefully over there.
See, that's where I got in my life, bro, is like,
You got fed up?
well, I've done the up, down so many times that like I calculate it into every decision that I make. I'm like, okay, do I want to feel this way again? And do I want to start over? And it's like, now it's not worth it. Because it's just like, you're like, okay, how is this going to pan out? Oh, it might last a couple months. And then, but what most people don't take into consideration, right, is like, say I'm expediting the choice on my wife,
Yeah.
right? One, you're not taking in consideration what God could be doing around you. Because, like, Freddie, for the sake of the example, Freddie is not a female, but say Freddie is the woman that, like, in proximity to me, right? And then you're girl number two. I get distracted by girl number two, but God's already placed this person in my life, and we have a great relationship.
Yeah.
We're chatty, nothing's weird. It's just taking the time to build.
100%.
And then like I start talking to you, and then that blessing that God's setting up over here, she's like, oh, I'm out of here.
And it's not, it may not even be, and the craziest part, when it's a blessing from God, it's typically not like, I'm out of here, because God will give it time, like, hey, look at the blessing I have for you.
Yeah.
Stop chasing what you think is better.
But it always pushes back God's times frame.
Yes.
You're trying to, like, if this is the analogy with my hands, you're trying to push it this way, but realistically what you're doing is like you're pushing it this way. And you're elongating.
So rather than just go here, we're going
all the way back. And I don't want to do that
and then
no more.
and then finally it's like, because you have really hardened your heart like Pharaoh, good luck. Like, there's no blessing. Imagine Pharaoh's blessing, hypothetically speaking, was that he just continues to rule Egypt. And it's a great place. This man pissed it away.
Yep.
And ended up just killing himself, killing his son that was supposed to be next. Bro, come on, man. My man killed his own bloodline. The lineage.
Yeah.
Because he wanted to play with God. Play with God at your own risk.
No, it's the truth. And like I keep thinking about like how this podcast started with scams, right?
Yeah.
Like that's a huge scam too that the world tells you is like, and this is the one that I wish I heard when I was probably like 18, 19 years old, is like, because I fell for it. It's like, go out, be young and dumb, date all these people. Like your 20s are for partying and experiencing things. And then like you can get it all figured out like after you get into your 30s. But realistically speaking, there's been a few individuals in my life, because they are rare, that like got out of high school, right after high school, grinded, figured out what it is, got everything stable, and then by 30, they're just like a rocket ship going out, as where like everybody's kind of like maybe jumping 6 or 4 feet off the ground. You know what I mean? And it's like, I wish somebody would explain like that is the scam. Like they're trying to get you to do that to get you set back, and then what happens is called debt slavery.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
That's crazy. We talked about that too.
Yeah.
Before you came in. That's
debt
crazy.
slavery is crazy, bro.
Okay. There's part of it that is like true, but the scheme itself is like that's the problem. The part that I will say is true, you do have to take risks.
Yes.
Like
I agree with that.
risk.
Yes.
Because the risk that we took that's helping us out is the fact that we didn't want to be dependent on family.
Yeah.
So we're going out doing it on our own. The tough part is that part. It's like,
Yeah.
we have to fail. We had to fail. There were things that went wrong. Like, I'm not about to sit here, even if I was a millionaire right now, I'm not going to sit here and try to act like my life was perfect or it was easy or I was just that guy and I learned it. No, like, it came with a lot of failure. It came with a lot of humiliation. And
Yeah.
but when
All
you look
those
at,
moments, but think about it. All those moments now that you can look back on it, they all shaped you and molded you to be where you're at. Yes or no?
100%.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm grateful for it. But people, I think that's why it's still tough. Like with our podcast, like when people get to this episode, because it may take some time, right?
Yeah.
But I want them to come back to this episode to like see, like, no, we preached and we walked what we were preaching,
Yeah.
and now you see it,
Yeah.
like how it unfolds. But however, it's like, how can we even get to our generation in time? Because time goes by quickly, and if you keep listening to the scammers and the people, quote unquote, tips and tricks,
Yeah.
all you're gonna do put yourself in more debt slavery, right?
Yeah.
And this is a perfect verse for what we were talking about with scammers. Micah chapter 2, verse 1 to 3. Let me know when you're there.
It's in the sheet, right?
How about this? Let me just send it to you.
Oh, it's. Yeah, just send it to me for the sake of time.
Yeah. I'll send you the rest
Oh,
of
it's right here, dude. It's
Oh, is
under
it?
scams, yeah.
Okay, perfect.
You
I
can
didn't
edit that
even know. But Micah chapter 2, verse 1 to 3 says, "Woe to those who plan iniquity, to those who plot evil on their beds. At morning's light, they carry it out because it is in their power to do it. They covet fields and seize them, and houses and take them. They defraud people of their homes. They rob them of their inheritance. Therefore, the Lord says, I am planning disaster against these people, from which you cannot save yourselves. You will no longer walk proudly, for it will be a time of calamity." I love that verse so much because everyone I've ever seen walk with a proud look has been humbled
Oh, yeah.
at a high stage. One example of someone in the finance world, right, that did the scam type of stuff. Wolf of Wall Street, Jordan Belfort,
I don't know.
but he was known. He was the first one to really think about sales, like how to get people.
Yeah.
And it was like you work their emotions. You lie to them. You tell them all these sweet things, and then whatever happens after. But we're gonna make a
I got
bunch
their
of bread.
money, yeah.
So they did that. Gets caught. Wall Street catches him. Goes to jail for some time. Comes back out, and people wanted to know how he did it. And now he's teaching people, you do this, you do this. You got to sound like authority. You got to do this, you got to do this. Yeah, it sounds good in hindsight, but you do realize most of the times you're talking to everyday people.
Well, now also look at this fact too. You're also taking advice from somebody that just got put into prison for scamming people.
Yeah,
You get what I'm saying? Like, how crazy is that? You're like, instead of like going to a good person that's doing honest work, you're like,
Yeah.
oh, nah. That guy right there, he had it figured out.
but it's because he did it so fast.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. Bro, patience really is like,
Let me speak on this too. So this is like a really big thing that's changed in my life, right? Anything that comes quick is not a God.
yeah,
And understanding that is like when you see certain people blow up, like everyone says they have overnight success moments, but sometimes it's like moments like this. We're grinding right now. The three of us are grinding,
yeah,
but let's say this takes off, right? The one episode takes off and then it starts
it
going.
just launches.
Everybody's going to label it overnight success. It's like, no, this has been months and we've been grinding. But the difference is when somebody hasn't been doing all that grinding and then all of a sudden just skyrockets.
Yeah. It's not-
Sus.
yeah. It's
Sus.
like, come on, bro.
Because like anything that God, there's two verses I'm going to go to on this. God literally states out that anything that's of him is going to take time and it's going to prosper you, right? And then also, I can't remember exactly where it's at in the Bible, but it's a 3-year process, right? And I think it's actually when the Israelites are coming into the land. He's like, the first year when they're in the wilderness, like, I fed you with manna and I kept you with a fire pillar. The second year is like, you're going to be able to eat flocks of your own,
Yeah.
this and that. And then the third year is going to be, I'm going to bring you to vineyards and lands and homes that like you didn't build, and I'm going to furnish you in them. Like, think about that kind of process. And also the way that you can tell too who's a scammer or not a scammer, because I'm not going to sit here and say that all people that aren't Christians are bad people.
No.
There are really great people that just don't have a relationship with Christ. But a telltale sign of somebody that's a scammer and somebody that's not is longevity in their career.
Yeah.
Because it's like, somebody could be hot for a year or 2 years. That's not a lot of time. But like, think about it. Like, the one that I can think about, he gets some heat every once in a while, is Dave Ramsey for like finances. He's a finance guy, but he's been around, bro, since like the 80s.
Oh.
Making videos since the 80s. Like, homie's been
He's
consistent.
Been
You know what I mean? And it's like, okay, I think I can trust this person. Because it's like, also, I kind of want to go on this preface. Yes, console God on all things, right? But then our part, and we've preached this a lot on the podcast, is like, you're not sending prayers up and then like John and I just play video games hoping the rest of it comes to fruition.
Yeah.
You have to go out and do the work. And it's like, sometimes you have to get mentored by somebody like that, or God will place certain things in your algorithm or meeting people in your day-to-day experience that are going to push you to get the answer that you're looking for.
Yeah. I think the key part that will save a lot of people, what I've learned, he is going to bring mentors and people around for a season.
Yeah.
One, do not get overly attached. Don't even get attached. Love them. 3, you have to be in your word. Why? Because your word is what filters what is being fed to you.
It's going to put what do I always say it is? The discernment goggles on.
Yeah, because it literally... Okay.
It
literally, like, it shows you what is of God, what isn't.
Yes.
Because now you're fact checking. When they say do it this way,
like,
the Bible said I shouldn't do it that way.
Yeah.
And also my spirit
tells you.
I'm not going to do it that way completely. We can still work this type of solution. Is there another way we can do it?
Yeah.
And then typically you'll find out there is another way, but it takes longer. Guess what, though?
I'm
perfectly fine with it taking longer.
Yeah.
As long as it's done right, I don't have to go back trying to apologize because of a lie or not being able to fulfill my promise. I'm good on all that. And that's what we're learning.
No, it's the truth. And that's like, and speaking from both of us with sales experience, what I've seen, and I know what John has seen, is like, if you're lying to people and telling them what you want to hear, you're going to get quick sales immediately because everybody's going to eat it up. But the difference is that person's career with clients is a revolving door.
Yep.
They just come and go. And it's like, they have hot streaks, but the difference is if you're in sales and you're taking the time to do something right, explain it to them, develop it, put it in there.
You build a whole relationship. They don't want to leave ever.
You're going to be so busy over an allotted amount of years, it's going to be dumb.
Yeah. Like, everyone is going to want to work with you.
Yeah.
And that's how it should be. That's how you truly dominate a market. And that, we'll keep it just business right there because I don't want to lose everybody.
Yeah.
For my ladies that are not into that, even my gentlemen that are not into that, let's talk about relationships.
It's true.
Same thing. When you have to sell yourself to someone, that's not it. No, that's not it. That's not it. You should already have built a friendship
beforehand
where it's like, I know I have a sense of who you are. I've seen you good times, bad times. Regardless, though, I still love you.
Yeah.
Like, type of a thing. But when you got to start, I could do this for you. I could do this for you. Granted, I've said that.
Yeah.
I've done that many a times. That's why I'm a salesperson.
I could fix that. Yeah. No, I get it.
No, but I've done that. But it's like, it didn't work out at the end. Because you put so much expectation on yourself, you fail one time, it collapses. And that's because you're holding it.
Yeah.
However, when you let God hold it, first of all, he created it. You don't think he could hold it?
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, then. So he's going to hold it for you. And it literally gives you freedom to just be who you are. You don't have to try to alter yourself. You don't have to try to change things about yourself. Like, granted, yes, there's bad habits.
Yeah, you're growing and developing.
Right.
Yes.
But you don't have to change the things that make you you. You don't have to change your style.
Yeah.
And that could bounce back to sales like we spoke about. As a sales manager, you should never have to change anyone's style. The only thing is understanding their style and how to help them enhance it so that they are even better at it.
Well, and this is what I thought for a long time. And the place that I got this idea from was an experience of walking in to do a job. So there's a job that I have at a car dealership, right?
Yeah.
And their sales floor staff is open during construction. So like their sales floor staff was in there, and I walked in and it was like, wow, every person I'm talking to has a different personality.
Yeah.
Like not one person was the same. And I could see the sales, like actual floor manager was watching me when he walked in, and he was like typing to people before he figured out that I wasn't there to buy a car.
Yeah.
But he has a personality for every single type of person that's going to walk in the door, and then he's going to be like, oh, Freddie, I need you to handle this one. John, I need you to handle this one. And I'm like, that's smart, because you're not tweaking or manipulating somebody. You're using them for, you have to get used this work. But other than that, like you're letting their light shine.
Yeah.
Because like that's the way that person is going to be most effective. Because if you over fabricate somebody, they lose authenticity and like being genuine, and then it comes off like real corny at the same time.
Literally, like any successful team you're a part of, it's that part.
Yeah.
We let you have your personality. However, there are rules that are in place, like don't break them. And there's a reason why. If you want to know why, I can tell you. But these are the rules. This is what makes us winners.
Yeah.
And then you put this in a broad point of view, but let's go into a subject that answers every question. That's what God does with us.
Mm-hmm.
We're all created with our own unique and distinct personality.
Yeah.
However, I just need you guys to obey these commandments. You obey this, you'll be perfectly fine. You'll live in freedom, and you get to live as who you are. Enjoy your life. Like, it's going to be satisfactory. We don't.
Mm-mm.
Our problem is we're trying to figure out who we are. That's one. Rather than going to the maker to tell us who we are. And then two, we're over here trusting everything else.
But God.
The maker on like how we should live our lives, who we are, like the instructions to life.
Yeah.
And it's like, then we get pissed off at him because we see him more so as like, hey, you're supposed to be Superman. I'm going to put myself in a bad situation.
Fix it. Damsel in distress, what's up?
Hey, save me.
Yeah.
Hello, typically you're here like 20 minutes earlier. Save me. I need it now. It's like, bro, you think I'm going to, he's going to want to keep working with you? If he knows that's how your heart is? No. Good luck.
Yeah. And he will let you, from my experience too, is like, I got caught in that trap of like not understanding that you can't be a lukewarm Christian, half in, half out. And like, it worked for a time period because he does have grace, but like, you also have to understand that like, God is a just God. So there's a line. And what he did specifically for me was like, since I was teeter-tottering so much, he just let me go off the deep end. And it wasn't that he wasn't there.
No,
he was there, and he was protecting me from a lot of things, but he was allowing me to experience
the craziness, the chaos.
Yeah, the crazy, the abyss.
Let me put it like this. Tell me if this analogy hits to what you just said. You go to the ocean, you can swim. You have a lifeguard. Lifeguard tells you, hey, it's best not to pass this line that we set up for you.
Yeah.
You can venture around here. All right, cool.
Michael Phelps it.
Yeah, you try to get past it. Now the sharks are popping up. All types of craziness is now popping up in that ocean. the tide is hitting hard.
You're in the rip
flying.
current. Yeah.
Woo! Come on now. And then now you're looking at the lifeguard, please save me.
Yeah.
He saves you. He's like, hey, don't do it, man.
I remember you specifically. I told you.
Please don't do it. Please don't do it. I forgive you for the first time. That's why you're back here. Just obey. All right. But this is the tough part, and this is maturing. Then you'll get bored because you've done it for some time now.
Yeah.
It's too good to be true.
Yeah.
Then you go back, venture out. Come on, man.
Yeah.
We just talked about this. How many times do you want to keep setting yourself back? All right.
I'll change. Yeah.
Hopefully, this is where hope comes.
Yeah.
You finally understand. Nah, man, you're right. Yeah, I don't. That's craziness.
But I think that's the most underrated thing because of all the scams in the world is not only being a mature adult, but being a mature adult in Christ is being able to hear something like that and being like, oh, no, it's good. Like, I'll just stay on this side.
Yeah.
And being content. Like, I'm not worried about what's on the other side. Yeah. Is it going to be all willy-nilly? Is it going to be fun? It'll be like, all right, bet.
It's literally one of those.
Yeah, like, yo, I'm going to sit right here. I'm going to kick it.
Yeah. Because, bro, like, yeah, that's why I wanted to talk about the scam things. Because it was just like, at what point are we going to, like, do you pay attention to what is being said and shown to you? Analyze it and like, nah, that's off. It doesn't make sense.
But, okay. And I'll keep this as short and concise as possible.
Yeah.
Not only is it that, like, people don't have a relationship with Christ, so they can't see that, but also, like, specifically in where we live, the school system isn't teaching people how to be thinkers. They're teaching them to be just paper pushers with no mind. So it's like literally, these scams just be eating people up like Pac-Man.
That's how they get people as slaves, though.
Yeah,
that's true. Why we started it off before this even started was talking about institutions. Institutions right now, not in a great place, especially if you're in America.
Dude, hey, I looked
church. It's
iffy, yeah.
Because, okay, mind you, when we say all these places, obviously there are very few, and these are rare, that are doing things the correct way.
Yeah.
Majority of them are not. Mm-hmm. So I'll point out church. Number one, no.
Yeah, it's
just high school all over again.
Yeah.
Work, same thing.
It's
high school all over again. They'll say, and they'll try to mask it up. Politics, no. Drama.
That's all that it is.
That's all it is. School, it literally is brainwashing you to falling for all of these things. Just be obedient. Don't think. Just accept what authority says.
Here's the task that I'm giving you.
Just do the task.
Turn it in at this time.
And that's it.
And
then that's what people do. Then they see why they're not satisfied. Yeah. And then that's what some people do. They're not satisfied. Yeah. So then they become rebels. And like go off the deep ends.
Yeah.
And then there's the ones that everyone does not like, but everyone respects. Why? Because those people were,
that
doesn't sound right. Yeah. That don't sound right. And then at first, they make a spectacle about it.
Yeah.
Are y'all catching the baloney that he's saying, bro? That's off. And they don't like it. And then you just learn, I just can't say much. Unless they ask me personally, I can't say much.
Okay, hey, there's a specific video that changed everything about this. It's an old gentleman, and he's sitting down, and he's like, pretty much explain like God will choose specific people to remove the blinders off of.
Yeah.
But the response, he's not doing that so you could tell anybody because nobody's going to believe you anyways. But it's understanding that he's allowing you to see it all go on around you.
Yeah.
And you're not going to be participating in it because he's like, you can't just have that moment of the blindfold being off and then look to your buddy and be like, hey, bro, like all this kind of stuff. He's going to be like, you're crazy, bro. Like, I'm out here living my best life.
You were doing the same thing with me, weren't you?
Yeah. But things change.
Yeah, exactly. And what you're saying is true, though. You'll just get to the point, like, yes, you do want to, and you will do it. And then you'll just realize it doesn't change anything. Just
And it only makes you look bad. But what I've seen as a trend in my life, because that's the biggest thing that God's worked on me coming back to Christianity is my mouth.
Yeah.
And like saying things. Because I always, oh, that sounds sus. Let's talk about it in front of everybody. Like, we're going to figure this out right now.
Yeah.
But what I've realized is like, even though you may take heat in the moment from all these people around you, when I've given things time and I've just, all right, I see that you guys don't see it the same way as me. Peace out respectfully.
Yeah.
Years later down the line,
They'll come back.
they'll be like, hey, bro, like, how did you know that? And like this and that. And it's like, bro, I'm telling you these things to help you, not to try to control you, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just like, and I know it's not of me. It's literally like God giving me this impression, like, hey, this ain't it. Like, I need you to keep it moving.
Yeah.
And then you're just like trying to tell somebody else, and then they're like, oh no, you're just trying to ruin something great that we have going on here. And it's like,
Okay.
alrighty.
Because there's the verse in the New Testament that says, let God be right and the world be wrong.
Yep.
That's literally what it is. Like, yeah. And like right now, that everyone you think that they're right, you're wrong. That's cool. That's right now. But as time will go, consistency, right?
Yep.
God's going to get that last laugh if
Yeah.
you trust him. And that's the thing, is the trust part. It's like, when you get all that pressure on you, what you going to do?
Dude, and it's overpowered, bro. Like, there's some certain situations in my life recently where it's like, it's gotten a little iffy.
Yeah.
And I just start praying, dog. Like, I'll be at work, I'll be doing certain
My
things.
man
I'm
Freddie
like,
is laughing because he knows that's true.
I'm like, hey, Lord, like, I know that you see that this is going on.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how you're gonna intervene, but I know you will.
Yeah.
And then I just like leave it at
to
that. Bro, some crazy things start happening.
But that's,
dog.
oh my gosh. That makes you so excited because that's what happens. Like,
Yeah.
I'm working, I'm doing all I can, like, and I'm trusting you. Listen,
Yeah.
I've given it to you.
I'm doing the work.
I did what you told me to do.
Yeah.
It's not what's
What's going
up?
on? Yeah.
and it gotta be like, all right, watch me work. When he start cooking, boy,
It's
he
over.
start cooking. Never in my life.
He's like, get you a little nibble of this, son.
I'll talk about this project. We got a project that was supposed to land for me
Yeah.
this month. Would have helped a lot. Granted, though, I'm doing pretty well this month.
Yeah.
It would have helped like crazier, though.
Yeah.
It gets pushed the next month.
Now
I'm
your
like-
next one's taken care of, bro.
Okay. In the past, I wouldn't have seen it like that.
Yeah.
Because then I'd be listening to other people, get it now, all the promises.
Mhm.
I was like, perfect. Next month, it is what it is, whatever. God literally brings a deal. Literally top ropes
Out of nowhere.
to come secure that.
Yeah.
What could have happened there? I'm like, okay then, God. You got it. Perfect. Then I get an email yesterday. No work. We was off. Email, mind you, this is the COO of a company.
Yeah.
Why is the COO of a company asking me if it's okay that we continue the deal in June? First of all, to have a company that interested,
Yeah.
the COO
Was involved.
is involved that high on vacation saying like, hey, is it okay we revisit this after vacation? If not, I can get it done this week. I had to check her real quick, and I think she loved the email. I said, of course we could do this in June. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
And then in the email I said, the only request I need for you to do right now is to enjoy your vacation.
Oh my goodness, bro.
And I left it there like,
Yeah.
you work hard. You deserve, bro, like,
Take some time off.
take the time, like, enjoy it. It's
Yeah.
no rush with me. Like, God got me, period. If it wasn't for me to hit this month, it wasn't for me to hit this month.
Yeah.
But guess what? it's gonna hit for me next month. And we saw it. Yeah.
No, I get it.
And a month after. But it's like, I'm not like, yes, like the world will try to scare you. You got things you gotta pay back. You got bills, you got all this. They'll try to scare you for the now. And it's like, you gotta, that's how you get out the rat race.
If that stuff starts giving you anxiety and stress,
Yeah.
my question is always like, are you actually trusting God? Because if you're not, that's when like things get real murky water, because you're like, you start stressing, you're like, oh, I got this bill going on. But what I've learned is just like, do the work until, like, if you're working for God.
Yeah.
Right? So day in, day out, and this is how you don't become a scammer. So it does tie into what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Is like day in, day out, you clock in, you work from the moment you get there to the moment you leave, wash your hands, I'm out.
Yeah.
Then you're trusting God to do the fruition part.
Yeah.
But the difference is like understanding that in due time, God is either going to move you somewhere else or he's going to take care of you where you're at.
Yeah.
So you don't have to worry about all of that. But the thing is that when my faith is a little bit shaky and then I have like hey, we're going to have to like revise the numbers, or
Yeah.
I'll get back to you in a month, it spirals me. But if my faith is strong in God,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh no, it's all good. Like, handle it,
Yeah.
whatever. I'll get back to you. I'll call you in a month. And then what happens when you have that attitude is like one goes away and then two come in.
Bro,
Yeah.
you said it last podcast, and it
Yeah.
happened to me.
Yeah.
Like where that was like, all right, bro, I can't. But it's also putting myself, like getting myself in a place where the only thing I can lean on is God.
That's where he wants you, though.
And it's perfect.
Yeah.
Because literally, when things are screaming at me, I'll just be like, God, bro, hey, man. At
You
the
hear
end of the
this?
day-
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I've given it to you.
Yeah.
I've given it to you. I'm doing the best I can. Here you go. Here you go, sir. Like, you told me to do this. I'm doing my
doing
best. Here you go. Hey, if it happens, whatever. But listen, I did my best. I'm going to just trust you till the wheels fall off. And then it's like,
It
oh,
happened.
man, you trust me? Let me show you something real quick. Boom. Because, boy, I've been pushed. And every time what keeps me sane is like the fact that I read the Bible and saw all the promises he gave
Yep.
Israel. He said, if you do this, I will take care of you. So whenever anything looks shaky for me,
Like, I'm doing this.
yeah, that's what I revert back to. It's like, hey, man, God, let's talk real quick, man. You're the creator. You're God. You're Lord over my life. I don't know what's going on. Please don't let this get to me.
Yeah.
Help me out.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do. Well, I'm going to leave it to you. Ain't no way things about to be terrible with me leaving it to you. And I start talking to myself like that.
No, but that's the truth. You're supposed to
supposed-
have conversations like that with God.
Yeah, so I'll literally be like, I just know bad things is not going to happen, me and you. I know when bad things happened in the past, it was my fault.
Yeah.
Me and you,
Come on.
hey,
Yeah.
come on, bro. Shaq and Kobe, 3P, come on, God. Come on, God. And I'll just leave it to him, and it's just like, all right. And then that's why he says, don't worry about the next day.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm not lying to you. I came in, I told you about that deal, and I think it got pushed that Wednesday. It got pushed on Wednesday, last podcast. Thursday hits. Out
That's
of
right.
the woodwork, an order just gets placed and dropped, and boom. I'm like, what just happened?
Yeah.
But it's like, don't worry about tomorrow. God, understood.
And that's the perfect example, whether you're in sales or not, of handling life. Is like, regardless of what happens in life, there's always going to be some circumstance, some situation, a comment, a look,
Yeah.
somebody hit your car, somebody has your dog sick, your kids are sick, your wife's sick, you're sick, family member. It's never going to stop.
Yeah.
But what he's asking is to just keep your eyes fixed on him.
Yeah.
And if you stay in that process of continually lifting your head to look towards heaven and navigate the way that he's asking you to in the Bible, step by step, regardless of what's going on around you, you're going to get through that storm and he's going to provide. But the thing is don't be doing it with expectations of what he's going to be.
Yeah.
Because,
you don't know what he's going to do.
You don't know, but, and that's how you remain grateful is if you have no expectations other than that, God will provide.
He got you.
You're so grateful for everything in your life. But it's when you start having expectations of how you think God should be showing out in your life, that's when you get irritated.
You spit right now. That's facts. You spit right there. That was some good stuff, man.
Yeah.
That was, woo! Nah, it's the expectation part.
It is. Everything.
But
Life's expectations, sorry.
And the thing is, you should not have those expectations of particulars.
And even as deep as having expectations on yourself, because you got to give yourself a break too.
And typically when we break is when we put so much expectation on ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
But think about this, though. I think that's what the fall was. It goes back to that pride part.
Yeah.
Where God is there. We know God is there. He controls everything, but we get too carried away where we think we can make it happen how we want it.
Yeah.
Oh, God, you're blessing me this way. I know the next one. Now we're trying to predict. You're going to bless me like this. You're going to bless me like this. And it's like, bro, stop.
Hey, and that leads perfect into the biggest scam ever going around right now. This is what's going to happen. This is where I'm going with it. I'm going to make this much money next year. I'm going to have this girl next year. You ain't manifesting nothing, dog.
My boy.
That is the biggest fraud.
Thank you for bringing this up. Because, let's see. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I didn't send you this one because this was the one I was working on. Give you 6 verses of the Bible telling you just to work hard. Don't try to figure out what's going to happen in the back end. Just work hard.
Yep.
Proverbs 12, verses 11. Those who work their land will have abundant food, but those who chase fantasies have no sense. Proverbs 12, 24. Feel free to jump in whichever one that hits you. Diligent hands will rule, but laziness ends in forced labor. That's the one that got me to realize when you start chasing fantasies and trying to, and when I say fantasies, it's the schemes.
Yeah.
You start chasing those, you're going to get to a point where you're going to have to work for someone, period.
Well, look. The easiest way, and I have to thank my parents for this a lot, is God's, and I wholeheartedly believe this, God has given everybody the innate ability to lead as long as you have him as the center focal point of your life.
Yeah.
And the word lead is kind of misconstrued with society where it has to be powerful. It has to be this, has to be this. You can have your own leadership style and be the most shy, humble person.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that if you diligently do what God's asking you in these few verses, right? It's work hard, work with your hands, be diligent, get it all done, and you're occupying your space. What happens without your expectations of doing that, if you rewind to how we were talking about it probably 15 minutes ago, is 10% of people do 80% of the work.
Yeah.
So when you have that mindset of working for God, and that's the best mindset to have, because your worldly boss is going to say something to you someday. He's not going to give you a raise. He's not going to give you the day off. Something, and you're going to get irritated with him because he's flesh. So you're working for God. And what's going to happen is you're going to slowly but steadily, and this isn't an analogy saying you're better than anybody, but because you're being consistent and a diligent worker, you're going to be like skim in milk. You're just going to float to the top.
Yeah.
And that's what God's pretty much explaining to you. The second fold of that is we live in a day and age of convenience, right?
We're here
But,
right now.
Let's rewind to maybe only like 100 years ago. Factories were maybe barely a thing. If you and I didn't live in a town that had a port, when we would get off of work, we would have to be tending our flocks, pruning our trees, growing our own stuff in order to eat.
Yeah.
Now, the difference is like we don't have all of that, so people become extremely lazy because of convenience.
Yeah.
So the key note that I'm trying to get at is even as a Christian now, it's easier to be diligent and stand out and shine your light more than ever.
Yeah.
Because everybody's gotten to this like cruise control pace. And it's not saying you have to like come into work just crazy like a bull in a china shop. It's just being that consistent piece that somebody can rely on. And then God's going to exalt you for that without you having to ask.
100%.
Or making demands. Like, in order for me to stay here, I need this. I need this.
Yeah.
The boss is going to be like, oh, wait, you're trying to leave somewhere? Oh, no, what are they going to pay you? All right, bet.
Yeah.
Here you go.
It's true. It gets to a point, they just give you stuff.
Yeah.
Like, you don't even have to ask, like, what's this for? Nah, man, we appreciate all you've done for the company. Like, they're just afraid. Like, they don't want to lose you.
Mm-mm.
So this will tie into the next one. So Proverbs chapter 14, verse 23. All hard work brings a profit, but mere talk leads only to poverty.
Yep.
And that's where it could start. You have people that just talk. Eloquent talkers talk their way out of everything.
Yep.
I may have that skill. Then you have the ones that do the work.
Yeah.
Then the moment that they get recognition, pride kicks in, they just start talking, they're done doing the work.
Yeah.
That was also me. Now you have the final stage. Hopefully this is me now and I've come to that realization.
Yeah.
You just have the ones that just work.
Yep.
They don't talk, they just work. You ask them, they're humble about it. Hey man, I just do the work. This is what I think. This is how I operate. That's it.
That's it.
You're not going to see them at the cooler. Yeah, man, had another $100,000 deal this month. Was killing it, bro. Nah, man. And then they want people to ask for advice and the aspects so they can like
puff their chest up. Yeah.
You know, you just gotta be confident, charismatic like me. You just gotta see this watch here.
It gets me all the sales.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, dude, shush.
Like, yeah, we know those people.
No, I get it. And it's the truth. What you're saying is it's just on point. You just can't. Okay, so this is how I believe God's given me like real discernment and judgment on situations. Is like I no longer. I'm just gonna be real. I'm throwing my dirty laundry out there. If I meet you and the first time around you is for 15 minutes, I'm not really listening to anything you say. I'm watching your actions.
Yeah.
I'm seeing how you're treating somebody else. I may listen to a few things that you're saying and just like, okay, I'll keep that in the mental note. Like, the first time you meet somebody, they're going to usually tell you something pretty bonkers or everything. So it's like, okay, now I have a checklist of like, do you actually walk this out? And I won't talk to you for a cool minute, but I'll be checking in on you, just seeing. And it's like, what I've really learned is watching people's actions is going to show you who they are.
Yeah.
Because like, it's exactly like what you're saying. Elegant talkers can talk you can talk to somebody. Like, this would be a great skit, even though we're talking about scammers, is getting somebody that's homeless, but that's a great talker.
Yeah.
Clean him up, put on a suit, and then have him start talking to people. And then, like, after he gets to close a deal, you're like, you know that this guy's homeless, right?
That's perfect.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. And it's like, this is how I train this person to do it. Buy my course.
Yeah. No, but you get what I'm saying? It's just like, it's just how it boils down to. But it's like, also, I've had this conversation with multiple people in my family, right? It's like you're talking to somebody you're going to eventually, especially if you're becoming friends with them, you're going to see how they live. You're going to see how their family is. You're going to see a lot of things. And it's like, does this all add up? It's like, because when I met you, you were Mr. $1 Million McGee.
Yeah.
But it's like, whenever we go kick it at the pad, you be munching on top ramen, my boy. Like, so what is it?
Something adding up.
And it's okay. Like, I love you either way, but my boy, like, you're over here with Benihana's, but you got, what, chicken or shrimp tonight?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, the flavor. And it's like, I just don't get it. Like, and I think that's the biggest blessing of the Bible is understanding that walking in integrity in accordance to, like, realistically where you are at in life, there's nothing freer, because it's like you're not setting yourself up for failure. And it's also the parable of, like, don't ever take the head seat.
Yeah.
It's always always taking the back and allowing somebody else to exalt you.
Yeah.
Is like a really good way to operate in your life, because it's like, if we're being real, nobody really likes a talker about, oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. It's cool for a time, but then it gets old because it's just like, all right, dude, we get it. Like, you're having a good time, but like, seasons come and go.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? But like, nobody really wants to say it. And then like that person just ends up doing it for years. And then it's just like, all right, dog, I'm over you. But where I was going at with that is just allow God to use you when it's your time.
Yeah.
And it's okay. Like, if anybody needs to hear about your success, it's you saying thanks to God and then also exalting him.
Yeah.
Like, how did you do it? Or like this or that. And it's like, just be honest with them. Like, hey, I don't know about you, but I believe in God.
Yeah.
And like, I was struggling through this. It could turn into a testimony moment.
But that's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And that's what hits for people. It's like when they see you're a person about actions and your words
mean something. Yes.
That's why I actually do listen to what people say. Like, that's my first impression.
Yeah.
I listen to everything you tell me. If it's off, we're good. Like, I'm good on it, bro. I'm good on it. So I will. You say you don't listen to first 15. You do though. But you're looking more for the action.
I'm analyzing.
But mine, I listen to first 15 because you're not gonna sell me.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm a great seller.
Yeah. Hey, my dad's favorite saying, bro, you can't BS a BSer.
Exactly.
And I never understood that. I get him now. Yeah.
Because like,
I used to be you. Yeah.
When I first talk to people, I don't say much.
You just listen.
I listen and I'll ask questions.
Specific questions.
Yeah, off of what they're saying that sound off, to see, are you going to catch what you just said or no?
Yeah.
And then you continue down the foolishness. My brother, it was great meeting you. It was John. Fantastic. Have a fantastic rest of your day.
I'm out here.
And that's it.
Yeah.
And if I see you, we're going to hi and bye. But I will listen. Ooh, yeah.
You have to.
You have to. People do tell you. They tell you who they are, and that is in the sense of like what category they fall into. Are you one that's all about just like, is fitness your God? Understood. I know I could come ask you some fitness questions.
Yeah.
But I know me and you can't go beyond that.
Yeah.
We're good there. Business is your God?
Okay.
Let's talk business. Yeah. Let's talk business. Let me hear out what goes on in your head. So you rule your life, not God.
Yeah.
Because then you're saying it's okay to do these things if this happens. But that's not okay at all.
Yeah.
Understood, though. Go to church. My favorite one now. Oh. So is God your God or is church your God? Okay. Got it. No. I just want to make sure.
No, it's the truth.
Because this is what the Bible said.
It's the truth.
But this is what the Bible said. But you're telling me because the group said we should do it this way. So which one are we? Group thinkers or we also trying to think in the same?
Same. And then that's that. And then God. The worst coping mechanism that the church uses is there's not supposed to be any division in the church. We're a group of like-minded individuals. It's like, okay, well, not really, because the Bible's telling us to live this way, but you're allowing all of these things.
We're supposed to be Christ-minded. And say like-minded.
Yeah.
Because it also talks about how there's different parts of the body.
Yeah.
If I'm the arm, you're the leg, how are we going to think the same other than we're both part of the body?
Yeah.
And we need each other to work. That's the only like-mindedness I can see there.
Yeah.
As far as you don't operate the same way I operate.
Yeah.
I carry things up top. You carry the whole bottom.
Yeah.
What is there, huh?
No, I trust me, I get it. And like I've tried multiple times to have respectful conversations about some situations. But or like this is the one that like really grinds my gears.
All right.
Is like I think it's like Luke 2:16 or something like that, where he's talking about like you're pretty much not supposed to marry somebody else's wife.
Oh, yeah, that's yeah.
And bro, like at church,
yeah,
it's like, come on, dude. Like you guys are the pastors and the leaders here.
Yeah,
and you're like encouraging this when it literally said, and it's New Testament too. So it's not even that you can be like, oh, well, Jesus came and everything's
ruffle
new.
Some feathers with this one, bro.
But it's the truth. It's the truth, bro.
I got into that temptation. God saved me from it. Being honest,
yeah.
Know that. And that's the best part. I don't care. I'd rather people know like where I fell short.
Yeah.
And how God saved me, so they don't make that mistake. But yeah, that happened to me. That's interesting though. With the church, like.
But it's also like. Think about it though, how we started the preface of this conversation. Nothing's new under the sun.
Nope.
Jesus shows up on the scenes. What does he do? He goes to synagogue. He exposes them. Like, hey, why is this going on? Why are you doing this?
Why are you doing this?
Why are you doing that?
And then they try to be smart. Well, why are you doing this?
Yeah.
Well, my heavenly Father, he told me to do it.
It's kind of crazy. I'm kind of the son of God. Imagine.
I don't think you'd believe me, but I am the son of God.
Anyways,
do you guys have any? How are you the son of God? Well, you guys asked me to cast out this demon. I casted out the demon. You did it because you're a demon. I don't think that works that way. Yeah. The devil really would be the greatest salesman. Like he should be. Yeah. If that's he is. Yeah.
He is the greatest salesman.
No. He's the second greatest salesman. Catch my drift here. The reason I say second best, he's great for the now.
Okay, I was about to be like, I hope this isn't a pitch to be like, I'm the best salesman. I was like, no, John, please. Please.
No, I'm going to say the best salesman is God.
Yes.
Reason for it?
He don't lie.
He don't lie. And he delivers.
All the time.
He is so fair. Oh, man, his pricing. It's the greatest price ever, bro. It's free.
It's free.
And he's just like, hey, bro, just so you know, though, when you do come here, we do have just a few rules. Abide by them. They may be tough at first, but work your way. Abide by them. You abide by them, we're Gucci.
Yeah.
When you stray away, that's where problems occur. We go back to where you were at, and it becomes worse. So help me help you.
And that's the easiest way to look at it is like, especially somebody coming to Christianity for the first time or is interested in it, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of things potentially different that it's suggesting for us to do, right?
Yeah.
But you have to look at it as a whole.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like, my analogy, right, is like when I wanted to stop doing drugs, I didn't only have to like change just not doing drugs.
Yeah.
It's like I had to change the people I was hanging around.
Yeah.
I had to get new healthy hobbies. I had to like occupy my time correctly, right? Mm-hmm. So these rules and guidelines that are depicted in the Bible are time fillers for all the bad stuff that you're used to be doing. And the biggest lie that I feel like is kind of cast on Christianity is like you live a boring life. And it's like, no, you really don't. You live a peaceful, content life.
Yeah, you're solid,
And
bro.
then you see all these people that are like, okay, because like, let's just be real. I'm almost at my dirty 30, right?
Yeah.
If I go out and get plastered tonight, bro, it feels like I got beat with bars of soap when I woke up.
No,
so
I'm
it's
good.
like, I'm good on all
Yeah, I'm
that.
good on
like,
all that.
And there's some people, bro, at work, they be doing it every day. And they come into work just haggard. And it's just like,
Yeah, I
dude,
can't.
I'm supposed to, like, that's what God's created this for. And I'm good on this. Like, I'd rather kick it with my cat at home, cook me a good meal, get a good night's sleep. Imagine that, get a good night's sleep because I have peace on my mind.
And,
oh, my boy. Come on, dog.
All right, there's two things. So I think it's Proverbs 30. It actually talks about that. Or no, Proverbs 31. King Lemuel, his mom gives him sound advice, and it's beautiful advice. She says, kings don't drink to get drunk. Leave the drinking for those that need it.
Yeah.
Because that's what it was created for, those that are going through misery. So if you're drinking, you know why now. That's the root. It talks about it in the Bible. 2, this might be a little off topic, but still subject. One lie, okay, I think this one's off topic.
Go for it.
Is we're at the end times.
Mm-hmm.
This is happening. This is happening. No. Let's squash all this. We don't know when the end times are.
No.
Christ told us we're not going to know when it happens.
Bro, I've already...
We talked about this.
No, but I'm telling you right now, I've researched things like crazy. And I will go on it and say it's nowhere near the end times.
Not. But let me simplify this.
Yeah.
And then you could go into it if you choose to. If it ain't hit. What's happened today has happened in the past.
Yeah.
Where we're at, this is, I want to say Sodom and Gomorrah all over again. What happens is a nation will be brought to the top because they worship God.
Yeah.
And they prioritize God first.
Yeah.
Then when prosperity happens, get bored, then start venturing off and doing things we should not be doing.
Yeah.
Start homosexuality.
Yeah.
Adultery.
Yep.
All the things it says don't do, we start doing. We start murdering. We just start going off the walls. We become crazy. God says, nah, your time is done. I will bring another nation that will come take over.
Yep.
And then there will be a nation that rises that does worship me and does like obey me.
Yeah.
And I will bring them to the top. But that's a cycle. The reason I said it, our civilization, American, is coming to an end very soon.
Oh, yeah.
Don't know when. Very soon could be in 100 years. I'm not going to be here. It's going to happen May 2nd, 2037.
I wrote that down.
At 7 p.m. is going to be, I'm not, I will never.
No, I'm messing, yeah.
Yeah. I'm not God. I know you're joking.
Yeah.
There's that part. We don't know, but it's going to happen.
Well, think about this.
Think about prior civilizations.
This is where I was going with it, and it backs up exactly what you're saying. Roman Empire, right?
Freddie,
siege.
I just want you to confirm that this was said before.
But look, listen.
Go ahead.
Okay?
Go ahead.
Strong, dominating everything, submitted themselves to one thing.
Yeah.
Right? As soon as they started occupying so much space, before the collapse of Rome, everything that's literally going on in America now was going on then.
All right. Now let's take it one step further. The Greek society.
Same thing.
Same exact thing. You can even say Alexander the Great during his time.
Yep.
Something similar. I don't know if they were Christians. I can't say that. Don't know. However, it was, we're going to do this one thing.
Yep.
But then they start venturing and, all right, let's try this. Let's try this. And you know it's not good for you.
Listen to this analogy too, because it ties in with civilization, but it's about generations of men, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like the first generation, not saying like coming here, but like saying we're starting, the male worked extremely hard, got paid very little.
Yeah.
Next generation is like he still worked super hard, but he gets paid more and compensated because he learned everything from his father.
Yeah.
Right? Next generation, it's like 50-50. Last generation that experiences all the riches works 25%, but gets all the benefits.
Yeah.
But then the problem is when it gets to that point, this kid is going to raise a fool.
Yeah.
And then he's going to have to repeat what the first generation did, is work hard, not get any money. But it's, if you have the mindset of Christ, right, your generation or your life tree should be on the up.
Yeah.
And it should never really experience any pitfalls. And that's where I think the most beneficial thing that you could do for a kid, male or female, is teach them about God and what God requires of them as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Because then it's like because like you can't change. It's probably pretty cynical to think about, but like the reality is how far civilization is now. When we come out the chute, you're on a Monopoly map.
Yeah.
Like everything's mapped out, everything's figured out. They've researched how to get people to die earlier and benefit off of them dying earlier. It's all a game. So it's like, if you don't know how to play the game, you have to learn how to play the game and then pass it on to your kids.
Yeah.
But on top of that, this structure is not going to go anywhere. And the structure has existed since the beginning of time.
Yeah.
There's always some sort of game and you're coming into it. You're not creating it.
Yeah.
You're just a part of it.
You're not reinventing the wheel.
But it's teaching them how it works while giving them a lamp to their feet, which is God. Because with God, nothing that's formed against you shall prosper or conquer you. So it's like teaching them at such a young age, especially now, like thinking about all the kids that like go to public school systems now, they're learning in math class that like, man, if you really feel like a girl, you could be a girl.
If you feel like
it's like, how does this do with math? You got to teach your kid to already have some sort of discernment and be like, oh no, I'm not about this.
Yeah.
And that's what it really boils down to, is grounding somebody as soon as possible. The reason why I say that is from personal experience. I had beyond my capacity of understanding still to this point of how grounded my parents made sure my brother and I were, between where we went to school, who we hung out with, church, grandparents, this and that, right? I still went out on my own to see the difference, because like I was that stubborn. But my mom's always said, like, if you raise a child correctly,
Proverbs,
they're gonna come back.
They're gonna come back. Proverbs says that. And your mom was 100% right, because it was the same for me. I think.
And that's how you not become a scammer or fall to the scam.
To really get to that point, to help your family and the next people, you have to help yourself.
Yep.
And with God, you're not going to be the generation that does not enjoy the fruits of your labor. You'll be the one that possibly enhances it, or you're the one who creates and starts that.
Your wealth,
And that's how you break a generational cycle. It's not looking just at like your family. It's like looking at what your family is falling for.
And then not being
that.
And that's what my parents did.
Because every family has like a unique quality about them, what they're really good at. However, there's also like a sin or a temptation that they keep falling for.
Dude, I'll be honest, like in my family, the two people on both sides of the family trees that don't do it are my mom and my dad. But everybody else, dude, it's to the point where I have one grandparent left, but everybody in my family tree struggles with addiction, whether it's alcohol or drugs.
Bro, you know what I'm saying? Everyone struggles with an addiction, and it could be beyond that. It could be even financial, because you're trying to get things too quickly. Like That's my family side of things. Like
Yeah.
or just like my mom's side, like my mom herself.
Yeah.
It's like trying to get things very quickly.
And it's like, just take your time.
Take your time because you're one of the most skilled people I've ever met in my life.
Yeah.
Like my mom is a jack of all trades, master of none.
Yeah.
And it's because she wants it quick. And it's like, bro, if you just took your time on one thing, there's no reason you should not be balling right now.
See, and that's a huge point that I feel will help a lot of people is like, realistically, you only have to figure out one thing.
That's it.
If you figure out if you get into a market and you figure out that market, regardless of what it is,
Yeah.
what it's going to do, it's going to create a network of people that have the same capacity as you do in a different field that's going to help you. And then you start helping out everybody. You don't have to do it all yourself. Just be really good at what you do.
Yeah. It relates back to the Proverbs that we last left off on, Proverbs 14:23. All hard work brings a profit,
Yep.
but mere talk leads only to poverty. And that's facts. Like, you can't get any truer than that. And there's 3 more I wanted to share. Genesis chapter 2, verse 15. This is what God made man to do. The Lord God took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden to work it and to take care of it. That's our job. Work it, take care of it. Don't worry about anything else.
Yep.
It's the moment we start worrying and get away from what he's telling us.
Yep.
That's where problems start. The next one, and this one I was trying to figure out for so long, what did you mean by this? But now I'm finally like getting it. 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 6. The hardworking farmer should be the first to receive a share of the crops. I was like, bro, I understand, like, yes, he should receive it.
Yeah.
But like, what do you mean?
Fruits of your labor.
Yeah. You work hard, fruits of labor will happen.
Yeah.
And it's like, you just gotta understand, like, take your time.
Well, dude, think about it from a realistic perspective of where God's placed us both at the age that we're at.
Yeah.
It's because you and I both, even if we were at burner jobs or not, did the job to the best capacity, and then God kept moving us whether we understood
what was happening
or not. And like, that's what it boils down to, is like, you could really understand and see who somebody is based on where they're at in life.
Yeah.
And it's not a judgment, because like some people, like for instance, my brother would be completely content living the most simple life you could have possible.
Yeah.
Doesn't take away how brilliant he is, but he's just not all about nice clothes, this and that. Like, he dresses nice, he looks nice, he's always presentable. But that's the one thing that like really hits home about my brother, is like, he just ain't about it.
Yeah.
And it's like, if he don't have it, it doesn't ring his bell. It's this or that, and he's content.
Yeah.
But with me, like growing up, it was opposite.
Yeah.
If I didn't have that, I was like stressing about it, and then my brother's always be like, "Why are you worried about it?"
Yeah.
And it's just realizing, like, bro, sometimes you just have to appreciate like what you do have.
Yeah. Like, it literally is that. Like, just stop chasing and just appreciate what you have. Continue to do the right things.
Well, dude, think about this weekend for me. What did I tell you? Like, I realized, like, really realized, like, bruh, like, God's been showing out like crazy, and I've just been, what's next? What's next? Instead of being like, dude, like, bruh, I watched a video of a year ago, right?
Yeah.
They did the same thing, similar situation. Dude, my life's completely different. Like, completely different.
Yeah.
And it's like, dang, God, like, you did all this in like less than a year, and I'm over here like, where's the fast forward button, bro? Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? And it's like, no, dude, he's showing out already.
Yeah.
And I'm more than content.
Yeah, and that's what it is. Like, it's just really, patience. Those are the 3 principles. Patience, consistency, discipline.
Discipline.
You get all 3 of those, and then You read the Bible,
It's good luck, Satan.
and you're learning as well to be honest, and you're just focusing and just trusting God will take care of everything. I promise you right now, that's one promise I can tell anyone. You do these things, I promise you your life will change for the best.
Yep.
Not even for the better, for the absolute best that it can possibly be for you, it will change.
It's the truth.
Just don't try to put a time frame on it. Don't think it's going to happen next week, next month, next year. It's however long God wants it to take.
Amen.
It's going to take. Just don't rush it. Take your time. What did that one person used to say? Take it easy.
Oh, the homie Jet. Relax.
Relax.
It's the truth.
Take it easy. And that's what it is.
Yeah.
But hey man, this has been episode 16. This is John.
This is Cam. That's Freddie.
That's Freddie.
We out.
We out.